Welcome to What Gear Reviews. Consider subscribing if you like tech reviews and loads of other tech related stuff. But today I'm looking at this, which is the Realme X2 Pro, and it is at this point in time the most affordable device with the new Snapdragon 855 Plus, which is the most powerful processor from Qualcomm at the moment. And check this thing out, quad camera array with the crown jewel on the top, a 64 megapixel sensor, and I'm super excited to see what this thing can bring to the table when it comes to camera performance. But let's kick this off by answering the main questions that I think you guys might have. Does it have a headphone jack? Yes, it does. It's right there on the bottom of the device, which means if you've got really expensive wired headphones, you can still make the most of them with 24-bit, 192 kilohertz high-res audio via the wire. But if you feel wired headphones are a bit too old school nowadays, you've also got Bluetooth 5.0. Does the Realme X2 Pro have a Quad HD display? It doesn't, but it does have a really awesome Full HD Plus Super AMOLED with 90 Hz refresh rate with 402 pixels per inch. And when you consider a lot of the flagship devices that you're paying close to £1,000 for right now don't have that kind of screen tech, that's pretty insane and it's very impressive. So, does it have 5G? Unfortunately, not at the moment. I reckon Realme are holding out on that one for the X3 Pro. So unfortunately no 5G at the moment, but let's be honest about this, 5G isn't quite ready yet. I've got it on my Note 10 Plus and it rarely ever kicks in where I live. So I think the timing would be better for the X3 Pro to bring in the 5G. Does it have a memory card slot? Unfortunately not, but there are 3 variants. So the 64GB variant has UFS 2.1, which is still flagship level when it comes to data speeds, but you might find yourself running out of memory pretty quickly. And if you ask that question about the memory card slot, then you should really be looking at the 256GB or 128GB, which has UFS 3.0 storage, which is super fast. Combine that with the Snapdragon and you've got a blisteringly fast device. Does it have notification LED on the front? It doesn't, because it's mainly all screen. It's got a crazy screen to body ratio and there was just no space to put a little LED on the front. How much of a big deal is that for you? Let me know in the comments below this video. Now, some of you might be wondering what type of fingerprint scanner have they gone for in this device, and I can tell you it's not the Qualcomm Sonic fingerprint reader. It's actually a brand new, world's first GigX 3.0, which is apparently the fastest on the market today. It unlocks in 0.23 seconds and it's much more secure than the old school optical sensors that you see in some other similarly priced devices. Now that's all that out of the way, let me explain to you why this just might be the front runner for the title of Flagship Killer in 2019. So Realme's parent company is BBK Electronics, who are also the parent company of OnePlus, Oppo and Vivo. So they have the same access to all of the flagship tech that all of those companies do. And phones like the Realme X2 Pro really excite me because Realme, having just launched in Europe, really have something to prove. And it looks to me like they're rolling out some big guns on this one. So let's get into it. The display is 90 Hz Super AMOLED. It supports HDR10+, and it also supports DCI P3 color gamut. Inside the device is a Snapdragon 855 Plus, which is currently the fastest chipset from Qualcomm until the 865. And the 855 Plus is actually 5% faster on a single core and a 15% GPU boost over the 855. And when it comes to RAM, it starts at 6GB up to 12GB. And going back to the storage, there are 3 versions you could pick up. 64 gigs with UFS 2.0 and 128 and 256 with UFS 3.0. My advice to you guys is go for the UFS 3.0 variants. Now this is the big guns I'm talking about. It's the quad array cameras. The primary is a Samsung 64 megapixel sensor. So they're pushing the boundaries here with this sensor. Then they've got a 13 megapixel telephoto, which can do a 5 times optical zoom and a 20x hybrid zoom. Combine that with an 8 megapixel ultra wide, which can take photos at 115 degrees and also doubles up as a macro lens. That's pretty awesome. And then they've even thrown in a 2 megapixel depth sensor, which is going to really help with those portrait shots. When it comes to the selfie shooter on the Realme X2 Pro, it has a 16 megapixel shooter that does support night mode. Now this is another big gun that Realme are rolling out, and it's the 50 watt Super VOOC charging and a 4000 milliamp hour battery. And that 50 watts charging means that this phone can go from empty to full in 35 minutes. And all I can say is, wow, now that's fast.
Now that's fast, whoa!
So to go along with all these other flagship features, Realme have also included dual speakers that support Dolby Atmos. And I think it's true to say, once you've had a dual speaker smartphone, it's quite hard to go back to a mono speaker. And the actual design on the front, they've gone with the water drop notch, which is very much 2019, and there's a small chin at the bottom. Alright gamers, I know you're really going to love these features. So the Realme X2 Pro has a vapor cooling chamber which covers 100% of the thermal surface. So when you're playing, this phone stays cool under pressure. Then you've also got Hyper Boost 2.0, which is a dedicated gaming mode from Realme that does all the usual stuff like strip back, background usage, mute distractions and all this kind of stuff. But what makes this really cool is Frame Boost 2.0, which improves the frame rate performance by 18%. And then they've got Touch Boost, which improves the responsiveness by 35%, which is really going to help you with your reaction speeds when playing games like Call of Duty on your phone. So gamers, come find me on Call of Duty if you want to test your skills. My gamer tag's at the bottom of the screen right now. I'll be waiting. And another addition to this phone is the haptics that it uses, which is actually surprisingly powerful and will help you get more immersed in your games. So you can play on, players. So this video has been a real first-hand look at the new Realme X2 Pro. Let me know what phones you're using right now, and would you consider an upgrade to this device? Leave that in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this one, make sure you hit the thumbs up. And if you just subscribed, you're now one of the finest subscribers known to man, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you, late.